So I was checking out my YouTube analytics page, and there's this new tab called inspiration, right? And maybe I'll do more of these. But I noticed this day in the life of a life coach, and I guess these are kind of recommendations for topics. But anyway, like I clicked this out of curiosity, and then I get this. Let me move it around a little bit. And I wanted to kind of give you an overview of these things because why not? I find that could be pretty fun. Okay, what is life coaching? YouTube suggested algorithm says life coaching is a process of helping people achieve their goals. Life coaches help their clients identify and overcome challenges. Life coaches help their clients develop their full potential. Okay, so these are good outlines, but okay, these are good outlines in general. But for me, life coaching has to do with suffering. If you're not suffering, then I don't really think you can benefit from a life coach. But with that said, or I mean, I don't think there's a lot of work that you can do with me. But with that said, another thing related to suffering is that the average person doesn't know how much they're suffering because they're used to it, right? They're used to not being themselves. They're used to prioritizing other people in front of their needs. They're used to always listening to their urges and like simple temptations. And so, the average person is really out of touch with how much they are suffering in their day-to-day life. And some people find me early on in that journey, and then so some they get to realize that they are in fact suffering a lot, and then they work with through those sufferings with me. Some people find me a little bit late in their journey, and they come to me already suffering. And you know what, that tends to help the process a lot because you know what you are doing when you are suffering. So while this is a good general overview, I think for me it is focused on suffering. How to become a life coach. There are no formal requirements to become a life coach, and life coaches typically have a bachelor's degree or higher, have a strong understanding of human behavior. So, this is the most important part. This is not a regulated field. This isn't like therapy or licensed social work. Kind of a freelance thing, right? And while this is good because anyone can become a life coach, it's also bad because many people who call themselves a life coach kind of alter the general perception of what life coaches do, right? It's like I don't know, for guys it's a lot of muscular influencers who say like just grind and then sigma blah blah blah. That tends to be the narrative, and a lot of female life coaches emphasize like weight loss and be the blah 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 blah. So you basically get a when you're a life coach, because it's not a regulated field and there are no formal requirements, and you tell people that you're a life coach, people tend to pigeonhole you into that common perception. And you know what? It's not really a problem, but related to my other videos as of recent, if you are really not grounded to connected to your self assurance as a life coach, those like perceptions can be really triggering to you, and then the more of those awkward conversations you have, the more you don't want to have those. So the more you start hiding the fact that you're a life coach, and the more that tends to block your life coaching business. These things happen a lot. So being a life coach is kind of simple. Like they said, you just need to have a good understanding of human behavior. If I were to add one more thing here, if you want to be a life coach, you have to have at least one way of working with human problems. Regardless of what the problem is, you need one modality that you work with in order for you to be effective as a life coach. Because otherwise, you're just a friend who listens to stuff. You need the ability to guide someone through change of perspective. And if you are in the life coach school education, then you would use something called the model. If you are under David Bedrick's oriented facilitation, then you would use a lot of unshaming. If you are a Buddhist like me, you would use the Four Noble Truths. But regardless of what the tool you eventually end up using, or if you're an integrative change worker, you would use the meta pattern. But anyway, regardless of what modality you end up using, you need at least one. Because that is what actually makes you change other people's problems and solve them, right? And that's what people hire you for. Benefits of life coaching: it can help people achieve their goals. Kind of. Life coaching can help overcome challenges, and life coaching can help people develop their full potential. So these are, again, good general things about life coaching, but for me specifically, your goals, right, might not even be your goals. Your goals may be something that's installed by a belief system that you didn't really choose. Your challenges may not even be your challenges. Your full potential might not even be the kind of potential that you want to foster. For me, the biggest benefit of life coaching is you find this idea of who the fuck you actually are. Outside of your being your parents' children, outside of your being your spouse's spouse, outside of being your children's parents, outside of being this like person with a job, outside of being this person with a hobby, my life coaching focuses a lot on who you actually are, what you are as a human being. And with that, you get to actually discover what is your goal. What challenges do you want to have? And what potential do you see in yourself that you want to actively get yourself into? So I think that's the benefit of working with me, I guess, as a life coach. How to find a life coach? You can find a life coach through a referral. You can find a life coach online and local community. Yeah, I like online, as you can obviously see because this is on YouTube. I think, like many other services, life coaches have a tendency to show you bits of their content and not the whole thing. My approach is a little bit different. The YouTube videos that I upload every day, and I write every day too, so all the resources that I provide to you, which is again in copious amounts, they are exactly what I do in an actual session. So I don't really like skimp out on the details, right? If you ask me a coaching question, I don't care if you're paying me money, I don't care if you're a YouTube question, I just answer it to the best of my knowledge at the time. But when you decide to work with me, and when you decide to get into like a paid relationship with me, what changes is you get to talk about your customized question. Because when you're anonymous and when you're just occasionally asking questions, there's no like long form sustained growth that matures with the relationship with an observer and the witnessing person entity, right? So that if you just have simple like small life problems that you want to solve, good. I want you to get the best out of my free material and move on. I don't want you to pay me if you don't need to, right? But if you are looking for something more in your life, and if you're that passionate about finding the answers, then I think working with me is a great way to do that. And I want to make that decision easy for you, right? Because if I don't really give you my coaching, how the fuck are you gonna know, like, if I'm a good coach for you or not, right? Or if I'm a good coach in general. Like, the more I talk, the more it benefits me and you. But, many other people prioritize, like, commitment first. And while that's good, I think my approach has its pros, which I am comfortable with. So that's why I run my business this way. There are many resources available for life coaches. Resources for life coaches can help improve their skills. Resources for life coaches can help them serve their clients better. Yep. And actually, life coaches are comfortable with spending money on life coaching because they know the benefits firsthand. because they also do coaching on other people, and they usually start becoming a life coach because they started out as clients. So coaches are more likely to spend money on coaching than non-coaching people, right? Which actually makes this industry kind of a self-looping industry. So some people call it a multi-level marketing scheme, right? It's like a pyramid scheme where coaches get coached, and then once you're successful enough, you start having a coach like certification program, and then in that coach certification program, you make a lot of money, and you make certified people to be a coach, and then you have people start their own businesses, but then business is really hard. And then so in order for you to get business coaching, you have to continue paying, and then so like there's more coaching certifications that, oh, that approach doesn't work, so you should take my coaching, like blah 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 blah. But you know what, guys and girls, non-binary pals, Buddha figured all this shit out, in my opinion, 2600 years ago. To And I tried a lot of different not everything, but I tried a lot of different coaching methodologies, right? Nothing cuts closer to the core than Buddhism. And that's why I spend so much time talking to you about Buddhism, because when you sufficiently understand Buddhism, you really, 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 really don't need a lot of other things. But anyway, that is what I think about this outline. And as a quick plug, I have an Introduction to Buddhism course that you can purchase today for a very affordable amount of $5. So if you want to get into Buddhism and you want me to explain Buddhism to you in the most approachable way possible, it's a 1 hour of video content, just $5. I will leave the link in the comments so you can check it out. And I'll see you next time. Bye.